Good morning, everybody. Uneducated Economist here. So yesterday there was a really good interview that came out on Wall Street for Main Street YouTube channel with Brent Johnson. This is the dollar milkshake guy, and he has a really, really compelling argument for a strong dollar theory. And I don't want to go too much into the interview. I'm going to leave a link down in the description for you guys. But there was one part in there that I thought would make a really good discussion. And what he was talking about is over the last year or so, central banks around the world have gone into a quantitative easing program, an easy money policy. And when they're easing their money, they're devaluing their currency to the US dollar. So if the Federal Reserve was to go and drop interest rates and go back into a quantitative easing to try and stimulate the economy by making our exports cheaper for people to buy, if the rest of the central banks are already going into easing and they're easing their currency against the US dollar, if the US dollar goes to try and ease their currency by making it weaker, wouldn't the rest of the central banks who are already in quantitative easing programs, so to speak, just work in lockstep with the Federal Reserve and therefore making their efforts as far as weakening their currency a moot point? And then what would happen to our asset prices here in the United States? Houses, student loans, cars. What happens to the price of these things as money gets easier and easier for people to get? It's going to cause the price of those things to go up even higher. So if houses are unaffordable, they're going to get incredibly unaffordable. If student loan was a problem now, it's going to become a very big problem. Okay? So that's my question to you guys. If the whole world is already going into quantitative easing and the Federal Reserve decides that they're going to weaken the currency, wouldn't the rest of the world just work in lockstep and therefore making the Federal Reserve effort a moot point? That's the question I have to you guys. Uneducated economists, you let me know.